Hello friends, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of this full trailer animation that I made and my thought process behind it and a bit of technical details. I wanted to keep it simple and effective, just a long straight car chase, car crash scene. So just made a long highway within kind of a cool little mini city surrounded by mountains. So everything started out in a kind of a master layout scene. I needed some mountains, all the buildings and assets, our kit bash, highways. So everything was laid out in a nice, contained, central, city-like scenario. The semi-trucks were kept in their own local scene file for rigging. That's my dad's tree service. If you're in Western Massachusetts, give him a shout. You need some tree service. For the trailers and the cabs, rigged everything. So then I brought these rigs in an animation file and simulated them driving down the highway. So I literally drove every semi-truck about 3 kilometers at about 120 kilometers an hour. I wanted to emphasize the weight of these trucks. I mean, real physics, real weight, real dynamics, because you could tell when something looks fake if you're just animating it. 30,000 pound truck doesn't just snap into place or what. It leans, it sways, it fights back. So this allowed me to emulate that. And the faster you went with these, the harder they are to control. So had some mishaps. After capturing the sim, I would bake everything out and then bring them back into the master scene with the whole city. And what I would do is, based on the framing of the camera or where I'd want it positioned based on the shot, I could just shift the trucks left or right, forward, back, just a bit, to compensate for where the shot lives. Even the keyframes, I would just adjust a bit back and forth. Since the highway was relatively straight, I could get away with that. So it was a little forgiving in that. The rest of the traffic was just on splines or curves, and I just offset the position of that animation per car and bus or whatever else on the traffic. So the hero car was completely rigged as far as the suspension. Pretty much everything that you see underneath the chassis is rigged and then linked to the simulation rig, which is I used MadCar. Same with the semi-trucks. So everything's rigged beforehand and then linked directly to the MadCar sim. And then I drove it almost at real time down the highway, just like I did with the trucks. And what I did was I just drove it. This is the first step I did. I just drove it straight down all the way. Just kind of dipped and swerved. However, I felt it was kind of cool. And then at the moment I wanted it to flip over or get hit and crashed, I locked down an endpoint essentially. So that's where it would get hit and then flip over. So I locked that position down. So again, the same thing. I baked out the animation and brought it back into the master scene. And this has got all the trucks. So this is kind of where it's becoming more art directable. I would shift trucks and traffic out of the way to compensate for the car's animation. There's a nuance to this because it gave way to new ideas for shot framing, shot composition, and different types of shots. So back to the car animation. This is where I would have it get hit and then start to flip over. I would export that animation as an alembic to Houdini. Then I would, using the system that I had, would create a couple a proxy rig that would simulate the crash. Then I would bring that into the next rig and fully simulate the destruction sim. So needed body parts coming off, all that good jam. So I'd have the sim, I'd be happy with that, and I would export that back into the layout in 3D Max as an alembic. And then I'd bring it straight back into the assembly scene as a proxy, straight from Houdini. And then there you go. Boom. Done. If you like this and want to check out the full animation, click the overlay video or check out TheCarFX.com.